there weren't a lot of genuinely good moments. I really didn't like that Britt used a cutter or an RKO or whatever you want to call it as nothing more than a transitional move. It was just she hit it and then they both got back up and then she wasn't even on offense after that. So, didn't love that. This wasn't a great match, but Britt Baker gets a clean win with a submission on Sakura. And this submission was fascinating, and I loved the take on it. But she basically did like a Rings of Saturn, but then also put in a mandible claw at the end. And that's when Sakura tapped out. So, love that. Later on, it was announced that it would be Riho versus Britt Baker for the title next week. And after teaming this week. So, as far as all this goes, AEW has done an awful job with their women's division. And I mean like a god-awful job. And I don't know if that comes down to the people they have signed or if they don't feel like they have enough time to invest in these characters. But as far as exposure and any sort of character development, they haven't done anything for anyone in this women's division. I mean, like, you had Nyla Rose, but they beat her to death. Riho, which was like I get what they were trying to do, the underdog story and all that, but it didn't work. And I don't feel like we really ever got attached to Riho. And then Britt Baker, who I don't even think I mentioned it in the review last week, but she did commentary and did absolutely nothing on commentary to tell me anything about who she is or why I should care about her. All I know about Britt Baker is that she's a dentist, which isn't exactly firm character development. Like, I get it. She's a dentist. Tell me more. Let me know something. Anything. I don't know. And other than that, like, who else is there that they've spent any time on in their women's division? They spent time on Nyla Rose, but they beat her to death. She's dead. Dead in the water. They did the thing with Riho and they tried. And other than that, like, I don't even know a lot of the rest of the women's roster. And, obviously they had the deal with Kylie Ray where, for whatever reason, nobody knows, but she ended up departing. And I believe I saw that she signed with Impact, if I'm not mistaken. But, I mean, maybe that was a big deal for AEW, that she was going to be one of the focal points of the women's division, and so this kind of caught them off guard. But that's not an excuse. Like, if one departure ruins the whole development of the division, then I don't know what that says. But, like, this is one thing WWE and NXT certainly have against AEW, because even though, like, I've complained about WWE's women's division, because outside of the top four, which are the four horsewomen, Sasha, Bayley, Becky, and Charlotte. I might have said someone's name twice, but you know the freaking four horsewomen. Outside of them, they don't have a lot of developed characters, but at least they have those four. Like, AEW has nothing in this women's division that has me interested in it at all. And I don't put that on the women that are, trying to do their best. It's a matter of, like, that we have one women's match on this show, and there was nothing to hook us into wanting more. And there was nothing that helped any characters or did anything for anyone. So, there you go. Rant's over.